Now, when it comes to foreign policy, Rishi Sunak has more problems to worry about. World leaders will be keeping a close eye on how he responds to the war in Ukraine, especially in the next few days. Foreign ministers of France, Britain and the United States issued a rare joint statement. Here it is on your screens now. What does it say? We all reject Russia's transparently false allegations that Ukraine is preparing to use a dirty bomb on its own territory. What are these allegations? And what is a dirty bomb? Let's tell you the full story now. It all happened over the weekend. The Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu made 4 phone calls. He spoke to his counterparts in the United States, the United Kingdom, France and Turkey. What's common about them? All 4 are important NATO members. So why was the Russian Defense Minister making these calls? Well, he is pushing a very serious allegation. He claims that Ukraine wants to use a dirty bomb in the battlefield. On Sunday, the Kremlin repeated those allegations again. Take a look.
The NATO countries' distrust of the information that has been provided by the Russian side doesn't mean that the threat of using such a dirty bomb doesn't exist. Such a threat exists, and the defense minister has given the information about it to his interlocutors. It's up to them whether to trust it or not.
Yes, the NATO members from the West are not buying Russia's claims. The claims of a dirty bomb are serious. They need solid proof. Moscow hasn't presented any evidence yet, but still, these allegations cannot be ignored. First of all, let us address the obvious questions. What is a dirty bomb? Well, it is a conventional bomb. It is made by wrapping explosives with radioactive material. What kind of materials are used? Waste from a nuclear reactor. Leftover pieces of a nuclear weapon. Radioactive materials from a hospital's imaging machine, perhaps. Those are the kind of materials that can be used to make a dirty bomb. So what happens when a dirty bomb explodes? The radioactive material spreads. It can cause life-threatening injuries. It can poison anyone who comes in contact with the bomb fragments. Usually these bombs are small, so the impact that they leave behind will be limited to a particular area. Then again, why would an adversary consider using one? Because it can create panic and anxiety by releasing radioactive materials into the atmosphere. Take a look.
The radioactive material that you would use in a dirty bomb is really available in a lot of places around the globe. It's used in medical purposes, for research purposes, so it's pretty much in every country around the world. And they're more of a psychological weapon. When you're trying to scare people, intimidate people, you would use a weapon like this because it's a very relatively small explosion. It would spread radiation over, maybe several blocks.
So that is the intent behind using a dirty bomb. The question now is, who really wants to use it? Russia says Ukraine is making one. Again, there is no evidence to substantiate this. How is Kyiv responding to this charge? Ukraine claims this is a sign that Russia might use a dirty bomb and then blame Kyiv for it.
Today, when the Russian Minister of Defense sets up a phone carousel and calls foreign ministers with stories about the so-called dirty nuclear bomb, everyone understands everything well. They understand who is the source of everything dirty that can be imagined in this war.
A false flag attack. That is what Ukraine is alleging. Sounds like an ugly blame game, right? But events on the ground are raising an alarm. Evacuations are underway in Russian-controlled areas of Kherson. This is yet to be independently verified. But some reports from Kherson say that the banks, administrative facilities, and personnel working in emergency and medical services are being evacuated. Russia today doubled down on its claims about these dirty bombs. Listen in.
Well, that approach is far from serious. I would say this is an unacceptable approach given the seriousness of the danger we are talking about. We leave it to the conscience of the people on those calls and who made those statements. And we will emphasize once again the huge risk should the Ukrainians go through with their plans for a dirty bomb, which have been documented.
которое кроется.
Russia has now sent a statement to the United Nations. It has repeated the same allegations. Ukraine has moved swiftly to dismiss the Russian charge. It has reached out to the International Atomic Energy Agency, or the IAEA. The UN nuclear watchdog will send inspectors. What for? To inspect 2 nuclear locations in Ukraine. Russia has raised questions about these 2 nuclear sites, so Kyiv is trying to arrange an inspection quickly, presumably to get a clean sheet. Remember, Ukraine doesn't have any nuclear weapons. However, it does operate nuclear reactors to generate electricity. Meanwhile, the West has issued a warning to Moscow.
We've been very clear with the world, publicly with the world, privately with the Russians, about the severe consequences that would result from nuclear use. It would certainly be another example of President Putin's brutality if he were to use a so-called dirty bomb. There would be consequences for Russia, whether it uses a dirty bomb or a nuclear bomb. We've been very clear on that.